If you are watching this video, I want to remind you that nothing is greater than when you see and treat someone like yourself. Slow motion this side. Nothing is greater when you see and treat someone just like you would see and treat yourself. Raising the frequency, raising the vibration. Let me send you some good ass energy right now, deep divers. Take that, take that, take that. Breathe with me. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Now, there's no place I'd rather be than with the birds, bees, leaves, and trees. You know why, deep divers? Because being in nature, it reminds you that we are all connected. And nobody is better than anybody else. And we have to remind ourselves of this. Now, Joe Rogan, my thoughts. Someone sent me a message and they're like, Ralph, please, you're always so enlightening. Make a video on this whole Joe Rogan situation. And if you don't know, a video resurfaced of Joe Rogan saying the N-word like 30 times. And it really caused a lot of controversy, rightly so. And some people were saying, gosh, this is terrible. Some people were saying he shouldn't apologize. So what do I think? We got a whole lot to talk about, deep divers. Even the cat down the road is pulling up like, hey, Ralph, what are you going to say? Just wait, okay? Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers. We are out here in the heart of nature. First and foremost, let's remind ourselves that we have to learn how to treat other people like we would treat ourselves. No one on this planet deserves to be treated differently based on the color of their skin. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? So I actually saw the clip of Joe Rogan saying the N-word. Now, he actually came out and apologized, saying, hey, this is what happens if you just collect information from everywhere and then put together a video to make me look bad. But he actually apologized and say, actually, it was disgusting. And he said that himself. He admitted it was wrong. And he said he doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't say the N-word anymore. And a lot of people came out saying, actually, you know, Joe, you shouldn't have to apologize. But here's my take. Once again, the N-word is a very sensitive word based on what African Americans have gone through in the transatlantic slave trade. And we've got to remind ourselves that is an unacceptable word to use because it hurts other people. And we have to learn accountability. If you are a public figure, if you are a huge influencer, if you have the #1 podcast in the world like Joe Rogan does, 11 million views per episode, $100 million Spotify deal, you have a huge responsibility. People are looking up to you. And a lot of the times you might say something and think, hey, it's okay. But it's not if it's offending a large group of people. Now, I love listening to Joe Rogan. I don't think that he is a racist. At the same time, as a psychologist, we've got to talk about race and racism. Race is a man-made construct created by Johann Blumenbach in 1795. 1795, the German anthropologist, he had this classification of races, right? Before that point, there was no concept of race. Now, racism is the attitude that you feel towards someone else's race based on a superiority complex. And racism is an attitude. Remind yourself of that. And it is real. And a lot of the times, you have to take accountability. Because sometimes you don't even know if you are racist with your subconscious programming, how you see different races. Okay, Chinese people are like this, black people are like this, white people are like that. And I told you, all of that is the 3D illusion. The truth is oneness. And as you rise in consciousness, you remind yourself that we have all been separated on these illusions. And we have to remind ourselves that the truth is oneness. With Joe Rogan, when I heard that clip and India Ari actually reposted it, and she said she's leaving Spotify and all of these things happening all at once. And I said, okay, Joe Rogan is not a victim. At the same time, he's not a villain. At the same time, he's not a hero. All that is needed is accountability. We've got to take a look at what happens to us. We've got to take a look at what happens to other people. Whoopi Goldberg. Okay, she actually got suspended from The View because she said the Holocaust wasn't about race. Now, the network ABC said, hey, that's unacceptable, and you need to take time off to go and reflect on what you've just said. And nobody batted an eyelid. No one said, okay, let me come to Whoopi Goldberg's rescue. Because, you see, go and ask Nick Cannon when he was interviewing Professor Griff and said something that upset the Jewish community. Just go and ask him about that situation. So, groups of people have set boundaries, and that is okay. And we have to learn, if you are a highly influential influencer or anybody, that you don't want to say things, even if it's just joking around, because a lot of truth is said in jest. You don't want to say things just to say, actually, it was a joke. But it's not a joke if it's hurting other people, especially what African Americans have gone through for hundreds of years, right? So we have to say, actually, it is unacceptable, because you have a lot of people who support you from the African American community. Now, at the same time, I don't feel that we should cancel Joe Rogan, because we got to remind ourselves that nobody should be canceled. People should learn, reflect, and say, actually, this is where I went wrong, and this is what I'm going to do to make it better. Redemption is better than cancellation. What? Slow motion this side. Redemption is better than cancellation. Now, let's go deep down the rabbit hole. As you know, the mainstream media do not like Joe Rogan. Why? Because Joe Rogan is literally having more views than major news networks, ABC, CNN, Fox News. Joe Rogan is coming out on top. More people are listening to Joe Rogan than the mainstream news channels. And this is the reason why when Dr. Robert Malone went on Joe Rogan and started to talk about COVID and all of these things, he got a lot of heat from the mainstream media saying, actually, this is misinformation. Now, what I like about Joe Rogan is that he actually does have a balanced view on a lot of things. He brings different people on from different kind of differing opinions, and that's cool. But the mainstream media were like, actually, we got to stop this COVID misinformation from Joe Rogan. But if you go deeper, you remind yourself that this clip resurfacing right now, just as they say, hey, your COVID misinformation has to stop, is not a coincidence. It is to destroy Joe Rogan. It is to remove him from Spotify, because Joe Rogan is someone who he has an alternative view than the mainstream media. And this makes him incredibly powerful. And this is the reason why a lot of people tune into his podcast. And the mainstream media are losing views. People are not watching the TV, but they're watching Joe Rogan and Infinite Waters and the cat down the road, right? And this is the reason why this clip resurfaced right now, because once again, it's like the nail in the coffin. But nevertheless, it is something still to be addressed, because it's still unacceptable. And an apology, of course, that is the least he could do, because he even acknowledged he fucked up. He messed up, right? He even admitted it, right? So we got to remind ourselves we all have to do better. At the same time, we have to see what the media do to create more separation, to create a race divide. You know, people are coming together, and they once again always want to remind us of our differences instead of what is actually connecting us together. We've got to remind ourselves race is a man-made construct created by Johann Blumenbach, the German anthropologist, in 1795. Racism is real based on people's innate prejudice, based on their superiority complex, because of what they've learned in school about race, the man-made concept. So we've got to remind ourselves that we all have to do better. If you are someone who feels that you're better than someone else, or that people are smarter because of their skin color and people are less intelligent based on their skin color, that is unacceptable. And you really have to re-educate yourself. You got to re-educate yourself. You got to learn more and remind yourself, this is how they divide you. Divide and rule. United we stand. United we have the power. But right now, we all have to say, actually, it is time for us to have more compassion to other people. It is time for us to have more compassion to other people. Once again, like I started this off with, nothing is greater than when you see and treat people just like you would see and treat yourself. Slow motion this side. And that's why I'm just saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? And we should never tell people how not to take something. You can't tell the Jewish community how to feel about the Holocaust. You can't tell African American people how to feel about the N-word, which was used against them to oppress them, and they're still being oppressed. Melanated people, black people, are still being oppressed all around the world. We've got to learn that we have to take a look at all of our lives, our prejudices, our attitudes, and say, actually, it is time for me to see other people as myself. Can we do that, deep divers? You see, the reason why I connect with so many amazing deep divers with all different skin complexions and beautiful tones is because I say we are all one. Right? And people have to start to evolve to see that. Less separation, more unity. Feels so good to be alive, baby. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Shout out to everyone who's been getting the wonderful good ass prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And if you are a sexy ass model, woo, with a whole lot of heart who wants to model the clothing, well, go and buy some, okay? Add me on Instagram for more daily inspiration at Ralph Smart, at Infinite Waters, and Facebook at Ralph Smart, at Infinite Waters, and Snapchat is that good ass prana, baby. Check out the new book, Deep Divers, for more powerful information that will help you become your greatest version. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book. One love to all of you deep divers, and I want to remind you, no matter the complexion of your skin, you are still a beautiful human being. One love to all of you. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Go live, Ralph. You want me to go live on this topic? Say go live, Ralph. Leave a comment down below, deep divers of love and appreciation, and let me know how you are treating other people like you would treat yourself today. I love all of you. Peace.